And one. All right, we are now live, and I'm Eric, and
I'm Austin, the owner of this beautiful channel. Uh, Even though I don't have the recording spaces to record my own thing, but hey, whatever. Yeah, Arc has ended, and I gotta say, I am very pleasantly surprised about how it turned out.
oh, definitely.
Because we both thought, I was kind of hoping, but you were like, I don't know about this one. This one might seem bad. But no, it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Yeah, but before we go into Ultraman Arc, we should probably go and explain on what has happened in between the last episode and this one, which is surprisingly enough the Arc preview. So yeah. Uh, all right. So we did watch Ultraman Rising. And we did record an episode for that. We just never got around to editing it. So we may as well put it here. Our thoughts are, it was pretty good for what it was. Definitely a nice introduction to for new people to go into Ultraman. Anything
Yeah,
to add, Austin?
yeah, definitely a good introduction for new people from Ultraman. It's pretty good. It won some. It actually just won like an animation award, I think,
Oh, really?
for some sort of animation awards thing.
I see.
So hey, I mean, it's getting awards, so it's good. Like effects wise.
And let's talk about the other episode that we were somewhat planning on, the Seed Freedom movie. Uh,
Oh yeah,
All right, so
yeah,
Austin has never watched it, but I actually did when a store nearby me was actually showing it for free. Uh, Whoever said it was good, can I have whatever the hell you have? Because whatever you snorted must have been some strong shit. That
damn.
that is all I will
I
say.
I can't say anything. Except for like the final battle. I don't know. The battle scenes were cool from what I've seen. So I mean, hey, at least that's what it's going for. I don't know, but you've watched it, so you can tell. So
Yeah,
you can tell me more,
I'm not a
maybe.
big fan of Seed, but anyways, let's get back into track. Ultraman
Yeah, let's get
Arc.
to yeah. Ultraman Arc had very big shoes that arguably shouldn't have attempted to be. Well, we wrongly assumed that it was going to try and live up to what
Blazar did.
Blazar did,
Yeah.
but it went a different direction, and I mean it's certainly unique,
Yeah.
um, and actually is very reminiscent of Return of Ultraman, which for the longest time, like looking at Arc's design and the way he posed, I was like, I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, is Jack gonna make a cameo in this show?" Because like the Jack suit, not the suit actor, but the actor who played Hideki Go passed. So there was some rumblings that Jack was possibly going to cameo, but that did not end up happening. Instead, Blazar did,
Yeah.
which was probably the more likely cameo to make. Also, there was Gaia because, spoiler alert, there was the leak. There was the King of Mons leak, which came pretty. I want to say like it wasn't even. I want to say like episode like 5. There was like a leak, and like it was like, oh, King of Mons is gonna appear, and like people were saying, oh, Gaia's gonna be in it because of King of Mons, but that also didn't end up happening.
Funny enough. Oh,
So,
sorry. Go ahead.
huh?
Oh no, I was gonna go say. Funny enough, recently I did watch the Gaia, Dinah and Tiga movie, and I've just realized, yeah, no, it's verbatim like what they did with King of Mons. I
Yeah,
legitimately thought King
verbatim.
of Mons was like a natural thing, not a dream creature made up.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, like verbatim. They just did the Gaia movie.
which I thought was
Um,
actually interesting. Now looking
yeah,
back on it.
we'll talk more about King of Mons later when we get to like the monsters and stuff like that. But for right now, like I'd say let's do the story, which is about this guy
Oh,
named
yeah, I'll go and explain it. It has been 16 years ever since the K Day or Kaiju Day, when the main protagonist, I forgot his name already. Jesus, I had this memorized.
Yuma.
Yuma loses his
Yuma.
parents, and a mysterious life being appears. Ever since then, he has devoted his time to go and prevent K Day from ever happening by joining SKIP, Scientific Kaiju Investigation and Prevention Center, which is an organization that works with the Global Defense Force, or GDF, to go on to prevent kaiju incidents from happening, just similar like K-Day. Uh, Yuma is joined by his captain, Hiroshi Ban, Rin Natsuru, Natsumi, I believe how you pronounce it, the inventor and genius programmer of the mascot of sorts, UP, which can split into two robots known as Chap P and Mako P. And they're joined by GFD member Shu Ishido and Coffee Lover. And they, throughout the series, try to go investigate what is the big giant horn that is in the middle of the city and what Ultraman Arc is.
Damn, you pulled up your notes. I forgot you take notes for these.
Oh no, I just have the
So,
wiki up, really.
oh, okay.
I like,
I thought you took notes again.
nah, I do like a mental notes of like what I want to go talk about, and then I just have the wiki just to make sure I fact check myself.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's the story. Um, and and as much as it like sounds like that, it's very much so Monster of the Week interrupted by a pretty damn long Blazar crossover thing.
Yeah, I was
Like
gonna
that's the
go and get into that, but yeah, you can just go ahead. I'll say.
so the rest of the series is very much so very Monster of the Week heavy. The story, even though it gets brought up, isn't necessarily the main focus for most of it. And the Blazar crossover, I guess, chunk of the show, it very much also did kind of, I wouldn't say ruin the story, but it really messed with the pacing because that was how many episodes is that? 4 episodes
Yes, I believe it was
in
four
total, I
episodes.
think. 4 or 3 episodes of a Blazar crossover, and you know it's good to see Blazar again, but at the same time though, like that's a lot of episodes for a simple crossover. Because no other like crossover. The longest I can recall was with Ultraman Z when Gene came over into the series for a little bit. That was
Uh,
only for 2 episodes.
yeah, that was two
This
episodes,
was
then
in
he reappeared for like one episode, I believe.
like both episodes,
No,
and
no, no,
then
no, no, no. Yeah,
oh
2 episodes, and then when he got his final form, he appeared for a little bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, the Blazar crossover really did kind of mess with the I guess with the time, I guess time events of this whole thing because it's like you know there's like the main story and this came after like a major plot development because this was I believe
Right
was this
before
after he no this was after he got
Galaxy Armor, yes. This
the
was
galaxy
after,
armor.
yeah.
So like a big chunk of the show was dedicated to a blazer crossover. Damn, I can't speak. Blazar crossover episodes, so it's definitely very interesting that they chose to do a whole big chunk instead of just doing like 1 or 2 episodes.
That is something I was going to go and say when we got to the Blazar crossover. It seems to have taken way too much time off of Arc's overall story, and They have made it 2 episodes and just combined the first one and the last one and just made the middle ones like in between the 2 episodes, then I would have been fine with that. It's just that the fact that it takes 4 episodes of a 25 episode series is what gets me, really. It's just way too long, and the pacing for the overall story really does suffer.
Yeah.
Uh, I guess we should also talk about like some of the main story and its bit problems here and there that we may have.
Yeah, the story is definitely interesting. So we're just gonna get into spoilers. So yeah, but I'm assuming you all knew that. So basically, it's kind of revealed that basically Arc came to Earth to prevent a mad scientist from his world from essentially dumping a dying star, or at least the planet, or at least the star's like energy onto Earth, so that he can prevent his world's death. Which is interesting because the people of the planet, they don't want that for Earth. So Ark was sent to deal with a um, mono, monoblos or Diabolos or two. Well, I mean, it transforms into Diabolos. Wait, is it Diablo? No, I'm thinking of Monster Hunter. I'm, th- I'm thinking
Uh,
of Monster Hunter when I
was it
was like
Mongolos?
Monoblos,
Like
Diablo,
the one that looks like I forgot his name already.
Zeton,
Yeah,
the
Zeton.
Zeton
Yeah.
stand-in, which I found very interesting that they put in a Zeton, yeah, Zeton's been like
Used
kind
over.
of interpreted before, especially with
Oh.
Riza, um, but this one was just full on like a new kind of Zeton.
Which
And
I.
I liked his
Oh
design.
yeah.
I liked his design. I liked the way that it was like presented. I liked how all of the weird how the weird alien made monsters were, because they definitely had unique abilities that the other monsters in the series just don't have.
Yeah.
So that made them unique from the rest of the cast, which I felt was a very nice touch.
Yeah. Uh, if I was going to go and add anything, what was I thinking? What I would say for the main plot being my one biggest issue is it gets kind of confusing because in the first part we're focusing on the big giant horn known as the mono horn or the kaiju horn that's stuck in the ground, which I thought would all right. So something big is going to happen with that. Uh, yeah, no. I don't think they ever elaborate what the hell it was.
It was just like it was like the horn broken off from the monster when Ark first destroyed the first one, and
Ah,
then it really did nothing. And then it really did like listen.
yeah, because I thought it was
There
going
was
to be
only
a
the small
big
monsters,
problem.
and then it just stood there until like the
The
last
last
episode
episode.
where Ark just used it as a spear.
Yeah. We'll get to the last episode fight scene in a little bit. Uh,
Yeah,
so yeah, that is the biggest problem that I have. Is just the overall execution of the plot could have been better. The plot in and of itself is not that bad, actually. I will say, yeah, it does harken back to a sort of Showa-like series, akin to like Return of Ultraman, surprisingly enough.
which
So
is I think the reason why they chose the more classic design with the Jack inspirations and also the Jack title card and kind of vibe,
yeah, uh,
which which I think was what they were going for. It's just that obviously new generation ultras have a more overarching story, so I feel
yeah,
like they put in the story just to not fulfill like a quota or anything, but just so that they could have a story that people could care about.
Yeah. What I will say is, I do like the kaiju lineup of how it's a good chunk of it is pretty original. Besides the Blazer ones that appear,
Yeah,
or at the very least, they have like an interesting sort of reimagining to them. Uh,
yeah.
I like how we don't actually get Red King and Gomorrah. They actually appear in the opening, which is kind of interesting.
Oh yeah, they just appeared.
Yeah. As we have said before, King of Mons makes an appearance in one episode.
Good to see him back. Good to see him
Yeah.
back.
There's also surprisingly
He was,
returns. Oh, I'm sorry, you're about to say something?
yeah, he was, yeah, King of Mons. I was very shocked they brought him back. I'm shocked that the suit that I'm shocked that he still had a suit.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been like rotting away like the Subaraya like, suit containers, but no, the suit that they used was pretty good. I just think that the mouth mechanism wasn't working.
Uh,
I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't see him. I'm pretty sure I did not see him open his mouth a single time during the episode King of Mons. So I don't think the mouth mechanism was working. But other than that, he was pretty good. He was pretty
I
well
also like how they
preserved.
brought in a Ultraman 80s kaiju, Noisler, which I thought was interesting.
Noisler, I think they brought him back for an ultra fight, or her, I should say, for an ultra fight. By the way, I'm not gonna spoil anything for that particular episode where it appears, but damn, bro. Like, I know you didn't have the same reaction, but I was crying. I was crying.
I
I'll admit
didn't
it. I was
exactly
crying.
cry,
I
but I
told
did
you.
feel the emotions, yeah. It was a pretty good episode, I would say.
Yeah, that one was probably the most heartfelt episode of like Ultraman I've seen in a while.
Uh, oh, there's also the original kaijus. Of course, we can't forget about Shangdong, or Shangdong? However you
Bingo?
pronounce it. The kaiju from the first episode, essentially.
Oh yeah, you mean the
Yeah, the one that lives in the cave.
oh yeah, the cave.
The,
Yeah, he was pretty chunky boy. He was a good chunky
the
boy.
rat. I know that you were saving up
The
something for
rat.
this.
Oh my god. I should I talk about it now or should
We
we
should
wait
just wait
until
for the
after?
forums when we talk about the forums.
Okay. We'll talk about the forum. We'll talk about it when we get to the forums. Let's
There's
just go through the
also Give
monsters and
Us.
we'll come back to the rats later.
We also got Give Us, which is a personal favorite of mine, being a robotic
He,
kaiju. Give Us? Yeah,
yeah,
Give Us.
he was good.
I like how
I'd
he
say he's very
reappears for like one episode. Too bad we just never get to see him ever again after that.
yeah.
Oh, which it is in the King of Mons episode. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was in the King of Mons episode. I thought for a second that Gaia was going to be there, but no, it was a Givas. So good for him. He's a homie of
Yeah.
ours.
Of course, we've already talked about the Zeton like kaijus.
The Oblos series,
Yeah.
I guess you could call him.
We also have the kaijus that are sent from Arc's homeworld. If I can find them properly within my little key thing. Hang on.
Obviously, we have like the very fat pig one from the last couple of episodes, which was very.
Oh yeah, the Dream Eater one. Yeah,
It was a
interesting.
very unique looking,
We have
very interesting looking one.
yeah.
And then there was like and I think the even more interesting one, the one where he had like these super big like eyes, and like he had like a force field barrier slash,
Yeah,
I guess, ball of energy.
Zidami, the
Is it Zidami?
the one that looks like Bolton of sorts on its back, right?
Uh, I I don't know if I would say Bolton.
Well, I
But
mean, it
maybe
definitely has the little like things. If you look on like the back of it, it definitely looks like Bolton. Oh, sorry, not Bolton. I'm thinking about something else. The one that is like lives in a dimension from the original Ultraman.
Bolton? Wait, are you still talking about Bolton, or are you talking about someone different now?
I'm pretty sure it's the Bolton. Hang on. Let me just do my research real fast.
Wait, are you talking about if the Bolton lived in a dimension?
No, no, no. Hold up, hold up. What was that sphere-looking thing?
Oh, you mean Bolton?
Oh, sorry, Bolton. Yeah, yeah.
Bolton.
Yeah, it looks like
Oh,
Bolton.
oh, no, yeah. Zadim. Zadim is his name. Zadim.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, now that you mention it, he does kind of look like Bolton
Yeah,
front to
sorry.
back.
I thought his name was Bolton.
Dude, I got that name. Dude, I got that name mixed up too. No worries. I like looked at it. And it's like Bolton, and then I realized, oh, it is a U, not an A.
Ah. Well,
That's the
hey, you
only
learn something new
difference.
every day. So yeah, I like how
Yeah,
he looks like a Bolton.
yeah, it's very, very unique. What else?
Oh, also we also have the last final boss, Swede, which I thought was interesting. The fact that he actually
Swede
gave
was
her.
interesting. Yeah, Swede is like it's like if I guess a more it looks like what would happen if like there it was a different evolution of what an Ultraman is.
Definitely.
I guess
Yeah,
it's very much more alien, but it has the Ultraman esque head, but there's
definitely. Yeah.
no eyes. There's nothing there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's also the Pillar Kaiju.
The Pillar Kaiju. That was
It's
a
literally
weird
called Pillar,
episode.
by the way. It's literally just called the Pillar.
That was the weirdest. I told you this, but that episode reminded me a lot of what Akioji Soju did with his episodes, which was very experimental and psychological. It was very weird.
Okay, so it
Very weird.
wasn't done by him, but it was done by a different person. Tomio Koyoshi. Let's see. Oh, he worked in Ultraman Max, and he worked in Taiga.
Hmm, interesting.
Oh, but yeah. I'd say overall the kaiju lineup was pretty good. I like the new lineup. I like the returning kaijus and how they weren't overused. And I like that we get little cameos of Red King and Gamora.
Yeah, it was very like more so as looking kaiju, and Blazar is more serious esque looking kaiju.
Well, I think
Alright,
we've talked
so
enough about the kaijus because I think we've been rambling on for around like 10 minutes or so about just the kaiju. So we should probably move
yeah.
on to the characters themselves.
Oh, okay, the characters. Okay, I thought we were
Yeah.
gonna go into the forms, but I guess we're
Let's save the
saving
forms
that.
for once we get into Ultraman Arc himself.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
So yeah,
Okay,
the
so
main
the
cast,
characters.
Yuma. Honestly, he's not bad. Uh, he's a standard of the mill character, I'd feel, but I did like how his character arc went through. Alright.
Yeah, he's very standard, but at the same time, though, he has a lot of interesting moments. Where, especially in the last couple of in the last episodes, it
Oh
was
yeah.
kind of like I don't know, questioning, like, or more or less confronted with, like living the life that he wanted or continuing with art, which
Yeah.
is interesting.
The skip
Um,
members were also pretty interesting. I like their interaction and banter. The captain
yeah,
was fun. Uh, Rin is
Yuppie
alright.
was he? What did you think of Yuppie? I thought he was fine. I thought he was gonna be
Yeah,
more annoying than I originally thought. So I mean, he wasn't that annoying.
yeah. Definitely my favorite member, and I think most people's favorite member would be Shu, the coffee lover.
Coffee lover.
Yeah, he was definitely, I'd say, carrying the show a little bit. His
Yeah, he had
interactions
like
were
a
like the
whole like
best.
character. He had a whole kind of character change
Yeah,
built up like throughout the show. Like he went from like the serious, I mean, kind of serious type, even though he has like coffee outbursts. But he was like very like serious, like the more like I guess Defense Force type guys. But then like hanging out with them, he kind of like became one of them
Yeah,
essentially, and like he warmed up to Yuma, and like understood like
his
him
struggles
like
and
how
like
imagination can like kind of essentially I wouldn't say fix things, but more like give you a different perspective.
essentially
Um,
giving you a path forward. I believe is what
yeah,
Arc would say. Arc said in the final episode.
yes.
God, I remember when we were watching the Internet Kangagon episode, how they became VTubers of sorts.
Oh yeah, they became VTubers. That one was fun.
That was
That one
hilarious.
was really fun. It also kind of seemed like a whole thing on like the dangers of cryptocurrency.
My God.
Like how like if you don't own any money and like you just hoard all the money, the economy doesn't work. Which I mean, yeah, if you don't, I mean, if it, it's a whole. I mean, it's a kind of like a whole thing once you open up the again a can of beans of
Yeah.
that whole idea behind the episode. But let's not worry about it right now.
So ultimately, I like the idea of Skip. I'm not quite sure about the Global Defense Force because I thought they would play an even bigger part than what they did. They were kind of just there.
Yeah, they were just kind of like Drew run of the mill. It was like Orb where like the defense. Well, actually no, because in Orb they did kind of have a presence at the very end of the show. It wasn't like this one where we don't see them at all. We only get to really see them like through like soldiers on the ground and our resident copy lover, but that's it.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's about time we move on to Ultraman Arc himself, which I actually do like,
Yes.
and I like that they actually gave him a sort of character of sorts.
Yeah, he was a very interesting character because he was trying to basically prevent his Yuma's Earth from being destroyed. But at the same time, though, it's like very interesting how his world might die. So like he's doing this because there's other scientists that want to try and not destroy their world. And we even get Arc's superior talking too, which is um, very cool. It really kind of gave Arc more of a character that he and others didn't want the Earth to be destroyed.
Yeah. Uh,
Right.
I remember back when Arc was first revealed, I did not like his design of sorts a little bit. It was just due to the black that was on his upper body, but overall, I've grown to at least it's at least fine. I have a I've grown to the design a little bit. It doesn't bother me as much, basically.
Yeah, I liked it. I was kind of. I mean, at the beginning, I was like debating you on like if it was good or not, and I thought it was, and at the and like I liked it immediately because I understood like what it was going for. I didn't really mind the black on the suit. I just saw it as like oh, this is like reminiscent of the Showa era. So it's like, oh, it's like a Showa era type show with like the Jack thing. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it.
Hmm. Hmm. Oh.
Yeah. Now the transformation device, on the other hand,
Do you actually like the transformation
ooh,
device,
huh,
even after all of these years, or after all of this time, or what?
huh?
Do you like the transformation device? Actually, I'm curious.
Do I like the transformation device?
Yeah. How do you feel about the transformation device and like the cubes?
That's a big. That's a that. I'm gonna I'm gonna have to pass on that one. That thing. I mean, the whole blocks is a good idea, but they should have probably made a better looking. I don't know. Like I said at the beginning, like when we were talking about it at the beginning of Arc. It's just a brick. Like it's like literally what happened. It's like literally Gotchard, and where it's just a brick.
Funny enough, I know a
Do
friend that
you
has
like?
the Arc driver. Played it around with a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of just all right. It's essentially kind of like Zoologer with their Rubik's cube thing of sorts. Honestly, it's fine. The only problem I have with it is that it's really easy to mess up the transformation, and then you're just twisting and turning the device, wondering how in how in God's green earth are you supposed to transform?
Yeah, I'm surprised even Yuma could even like like. I
Memorize
mean,
it.
yeah, he did get to look at what he was doing, but same time though, it's like, damn, it's like a very kind of useless way of transforming because it's like you're wasting time like flipping the thing.
Yeah, I kind of just wish if you just inserted the cube that it would transform, or if you just hit a button, rather.
Yeah, like Blazar
Yeah.
just insert and then press. That's
Yeah.
it.
Though ultimately, I'm fine with Art's design. So now that we have his base form done, we can finally talk about the armors. And I know that you have an interesting story to tell for the folks.
Yeah, okay, so before we get to that, let's talk about the forms that I don't really have an interesting story with, which would be his moon form and
Luna.
his galaxy form.
There's also the Saturn
Um,
armor that appears in the stage show. It's
well, that's
alright.
not canon technically, so we're not going to count that.
I see. I mean, it
Just
looks
to
alright.
short, just FYI. I mean, it's good. The Saturn
Yeah.
armor, it's fine. It's good. But the moon armor I liked. I think that's my favorite. I think that's like my favorite form because it has like kind of like these wings on the back and it has like a cool like moon shield
Oh, yeah.
thing that he can throw like Captain America. He has a lot of I guess what like more. It's like Dinah's one kind of with
Miracle
what he
type.
can do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Um,
very interesting.
yeah. Luna armor's
Galaxy
alright for
is
me.
oh
Oh, sorry. Nah, I was just gonna
sorry.
say Luna armor's just alright for me. I liked how it was
Mm,
introduced, and I thought it was an alright form.
mm. Galaxy I also like. I mean it's just it's just a final form. It really is just a final form. So I kind of find it. I don't know. I find it funny that like he has like foot and leg armor on the suit, which I find interesting. But yeah, it's just your basic final form. Has like a built-in like I guess weapon in there too. It's fine.
Yeah. Now the
And
sun armor or Solaris armor.
Solus armor. Okay, so I personally okay. First of all, the form is fine. It's just your classic bulky, strong type armor. It's fine. It's fine. But I do have beef with how they introduced it and how it makes no sense. Okay, so you decide. Okay, they decided to introduce this armor when Ark was struggling against a whole rat.
Hey man, that
And what
rat
did
was strong.
it was literally just Pikachu. It makes no sense. In my eyes, it makes zero sum sense as to why his power form had to be introduced when he was fighting just a normal rat. A rat. And then in the next episode, when there's a stronger monster that was like the one that was under like I guess the prehistoric underwater monster, he doesn't even use his strong form. He just kills it on his own. And like it's like what's the point of like like you could have introduced it to fight him because like you know you could have burned away his water and stuff like that. It's just a little pet peeve that like the more I think about it, the more like stupid it is to me.
Yeah, and especially since you told me that it pales in comparison to what they introduced the lunar armor with.
Yeah, the lunar armor that was like against like an actual like strong monster,
Yeah.
which and like he prevented it from like nuking the whole place. So like that's a good way to introduce an armor.
Hey man, that rabbit was just strong. I don't know what to tell you, man.
The Pikachu. Anyways, yeah, but yeah, that's the forms.
So yeah, what I want to really talk about is the final episode of Arc. Mainly the battle, the main final battle, but we could talk about the overall ending of Arc.
Hmm.
So you want to go, or should I go with my thoughts?
I think you have more words on it than I
So
do
yeah,
for
the
this one.
final episode of Arc, I say wrapped it up real nicely. What I especially loved about the final episode was the final battle against Swede and her alien form. And I liked how the finisher was Arc arcing himself around the Earth.
Oh yeah, I was like, wait, is this a Dragon Ball Z reference? Is this a Dragon Ball Super reference? Because like the whole like going around the planet and then going back to.
I don't think
I mean,
Dragon Ball
obviously it
Super
isn't
did
like the famous
that.
clip of like Goku like shooting his Kamehameha around the planet and then catching it when it comes back to him. But still,
Oh,
that's
alright.
what I immediately thought of.
Yeah, no, I just liked how, they did a little pun with Arc.
Yeah, they did a little pun with art, which was very.
Yeah, I like I guess this is somewhat little callback because, Shu nicknamed him Ultraman Arc due to his arc thing that appears once he finishes up a monster. And I like how
Mm,
Arc finishes off the last final boss by just arcing around the Earth, which I thought was pretty funny.
yeah,
Yeah, and I also did like Sweet's alien form, as we have mentioned before. Looks like an Ultraman of sorts. Definitely interesting design. I also loved how he just took her on with just his base form. So
yeah.
yeah,
It was very. I I was like. I was like, oh, they're doing a common writer just using their base form to beat
yeah.
them.
There was a special power up that was introduced to like finish off the Dream Eater one. Uh, I, I I'm not quite sure what that cube design looks like. It looks all right, kind of like the white of it.
Oh yeah, I thought. Oh yeah, I was super because I thought that that was the Saturn armor.
Yeah, I thought so too. So I wasn't the only one.
Wait, it wasn't?
It isn't to my knowledge. No,
Really? I thought that was the Saturn armor.
no, I don't think so. At the very least.
I thought they were going to do a whole thing of like introducing the Saturn armor at the last minute,
Yeah,
but
so
then
did
they
I.
went
But
into
no.
the yeah, and then it went to the thing, and I was like, huh?
Yeah,
It was kind
yeah,
of a letdown, but I mean, hey,
yeah. Uh, I also did like the ending of when Yuma decides to go with Arc to go and fix his home world. Thus, he leaves Earth, which I thought was interesting and it's kind of heartfelt.
yeah, it was like really, yeah, it was really like heart. It was like kind of heartfelt and like I did like when like Yuma and our coffee drinker like hugged it out.
Yeah. Uh, so yeah, ultimately, I do have major issues with Arc. Not a whole lot, I would actually say. I guess just like small issues that ultimately pile up to. It's just the fact of what they did with the horn and how I was a little bit confused about where the main plot was going. And but ultimately, other than that, and also Blazer taking way too many episodes. Ultimately, Arc was decent. It was good. I enjoyed my time with it. I enjoyed talking with Austin about Arc and us getting excited about the next episode. If I had to go and rate it, I'd say a solid 8 or a B. It was pretty good.
Yeah,
It was enjoyable.
yeah, I'd say so too. 8 out of 10 for me. It was a good series.
Yeah. So before we wrap things up, there is leaks of supposedly new Ultraman known as Omega, but that's pretty much about it. You got any
Mm.
things you want to go and potentially see of this new series?
I mean, if there isn't a secondary Ultraman called Ultraman Alpha, and then we just get Amazon 2 with Ultramans, I'll be but I mean, obviously, that's a joke, obviously. But like, still, I kind of like when I hear Omega, I just think of like the Amazon Omega. Like
You know what would be real funny
what?
if Zet returns.
You think Zeb
I mean, like think
would?
about it. Omega, uh, the Greek letter. Who else has forms named after the Greek letters? Zed.
Mmm. Mmm. Yeah.
But
He is kind of. Also, Zed is starring in a. What
stars.
is it? A New Generation Stars thing,
Yeah.
and he has a cape now.
I highly doubt they're actually
So
going to be doing
maybe,
it, though. It would be kind of interesting if they were to bring back Zed.
yeah. I feel like they're keeping. I feel like this. I don't like. I'm not so sure that this is like technically like the new generation era. This seems like I know like it's like a part of the new generation era technically since they said it, but this feels like a whole like with Blazar and Arc now. This feels like a new era of Ultraman
Definitely,
where it's
yeah.
like standalone with I guess more I guess base form action. It's not so form heavy as I guess the last couple of
More or
series,
less
which is
toyetic heavy, I would say.
yeah.
Yeah, which. Oh,
So
sorry.
it's very interesting. I'm very interested to see where this where this like kind of new kind of way of telling an Ultraman story is going to go
Yeah.
like next
If I were
with
to add
Omega.
anything, I do like how this is a brand new and interesting thing for a brand new era. Because with Kamen Rider and Super Sentai, they've just kind of just been doing the same thing they've just been doing for the Reiwa era, which I guess is understandable because Heisei was the most popular thing from Kamen Rider. Oh, Siri just turned off for some reason. I don't know why. Uh, but I do like the direction that Ultraman is going with, and I do respect for what they're doing. If there's anything I want to go say is if Arc is going to appear in Omega, I would like for him to at the very least only have 2 episodes of that crossover because I don't want it to go take over just like how Blazar did with Arc. I'm a huge fan of Blazar. It's my top 3 personal favorite Ultraman, but I don't want Arc to go and do what Blazar did essentially.
Yeah, I don't think what happened with the Blazar crossover. I don't think that'll happen again.
Hopefully, but who knows?
Hopefully, um,
Because I mean,
I
I
just
love
hope.
Blazar. I love him. He's my favorite. But
Yeah, I love him too. He is also my favorite.
yeah,
Like Jack was like my favorite for years, and then Blazar comes along, and it's like, oh wow, this is actually so cool.
yeah, but we should focus on the brand new Ultra.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what he looks like
Yeah, because we
because it
haven't
went
gotten
from
anything.
very primal, like almost kaiju looking with Blazar, to very classic looking Arc.
Yeah,
So Omega is, I mean, Omega can it's who knows what it's gonna look like.
Yeah, I remember back during the Blazar episode that we did, I talked about how they might be returning back to the new gen formula of sorts. Which, I mean, they kind of did, but I'm glad that they're sticking with this new, I guess, sort of ordeal with how they're making the series nowadays.
Yeah, it's more like they're leaning away from overtly poetic stuff with like the forms and with what comes
Gimmicks,
with
transformation
the
device.
transformation devices. But I mean, they could return back to
Maybe.
forms and stuff like that. But if they keep doing like, oh, it's just a base form with attachments to it, I mean, I'm also down for that. I'm
Yeah.
totally down for that.
Yeah. Oh. All right. So that's it for mostly for Arc. Are you thinking about maybe doing a G Quacks episode?
If it comes to the U.S., sure,
I mean, probably.
probably.
Because, I mean, you and
Whenever
I have some
whenever that comes
thoughts
out,
for. Because, I mean, we did a preview for Arc. Maybe we could do one for G. For Gundam Quacks or whatever the hell it's called.
G-Quacks.
God. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, we still haven't gotten halfway, too, so. I don't think we got any other episodes unless we can think of one. Maybe we can finally do the Rising episode.
Oh yeah. Maybe. Well, maybe. You know what? Maybe we should do. I don't know. Maybe like a halfway point. I mean, if I do decide to catch up on Gav, maybe we could do a Gav thing, possibly. I don't know.
We should probably just save that for when the final episode does come out, and if you actually do watch the entire thing.
Yeah, because I don't know if I'm gonna watch the whole thing
Hmm.
yet. So we'll see about that. Has there been any other token news?
All right, there's
I
the
mean, we
brand new
don't.
Super Sentai one, celebrating its 50th anniversary, which looks interesting.
Oh, nice. There's also Godzilla, possibly -2.
All right, we gotta do
Um, but
that.
there's nothing. Like
Yeah,
there's
I know,
literally
I
nothing.
know,
They
I
just
know.
said,
I'm
"Oh
talking about like
yeah,
when,
Yamazaki's doing another one."
yeah,
So, for all we know, it could be -2.
it could be
For all
something
we know, it
else.
could be something completely different. We don't know, but because Yamazaki is back, there's a high possibility that we're probably gonna get -2.
So when's -3?
I don't know when Mothra shows up. I guess. I mean, realistically, they'll probably like my whole theory is that they're gonna do just Godzilla raids again with Anguirus, because that makes the most sense because he appeared. He was the second monster to ever appear in the Godzilla series.
And my
So I
theory
mean,
is,
realistically,
oh, sorry.
that's what I feel like Yamazaki would want to go for, unless he decides to do something with Yuriko. But we don't know.
And my theory is Yuriko becomes the monster bride for the canceled third Godzilla film.
Maybe. I don't know.
My good
But
God.
yeah, like Toku's looking pretty bright right now.
Yeah, definitely. Cool.
Yeah. So until we figure out like if there's when G Cracks is coming to the U.S. or if there's any
I mean,
news about
it definitely will
Godzilla
be.
-2
There's no thought
or
about that.
anything like that, well, we'll probably see you guys later on. For the people on so for my Gundam series for episode 3, um, I don't know when I'm going to be able to make that. Currently, I don't know what everybody's schedule is. Also, one of by the way, congratulations to our main actress. She is actually engaged to get married
Oh,
soon. I
right.
should
I
have
forgot you
probably
told me about that.
Yeah, I should have probably said that. I should have probably made a whole video on that, but I'm saying it in the podcast. I don't know. Maybe I'll make it in a complete, I guess, update thing.
Uh,
I don't know, because I'll
I'm
just
sure
put
it's
it
just
here
fine
for
if we just
now
do it like
until
this.
I can get to it.
But yeah, yeah, congrats.
Yeah,
Uh,
congrats to her.
yeah. I think that's really about it because we don't have much to talk about.
Yeah,
So ultimately, Ultraman Arc is a decent watch. I am excited for what the next Ultraman will be, and hope to God the trend keeps going.
yeah. Keep the
Ultraman
quality
train
going.
going. Yeah. All right. Well, I've been Eric, and
This has been Kaiju Science Cinema, yours truly, and we'll see you in the next video.